The caregiver accidentally grabbed the wrong medication and injected 200 grams of morphine into the wealthy man's body. This dose was more than enough to kill him within 10 minutes. She panicked and called for an ambulance, but the wealthy man immediately unplugged the phone line. He explained that in this remote area, it would take at least 20 minutes for an ambulance to arrive. However, he couldn't let the caregiver go to prison because of this mistake. Within minutes, he came up with a plan that would perfectly clear the caregiver of any wrongdoing. First, he had her leave the house while making sure she was seen by others. Then she would secretly circle back to the mansion, put on his shirt, and pretend to go downstairs, deliberately letting people see that the wealthy man was still alive at that point. Afterward, she would escape following the original route, creating an alibi. After explaining the plan, the wealthy man sent the caregiver out the door. But she was torn inside and couldn't bear to let him die. When she pushed the door open again, she was shocked to see the wealthy man taking his own life with a knife. He was staging this as a suicide scene. With no way out, the caregiver had to follow the wealthy man's plan. But she misremembered the landmarks and not only failed to avoid the surveillance cameras but was actually caught on camera driving into a side road. On her way back, she was accidentally spotted by an elderly woman, though fortunately, the old lady's poor eyesight caused her to mistake the caregiver for someone else. The next day, the butler discovered the wealthy man's death. After investigating, the police indeed ruled it a suicide. However, a detective received an anonymous letter asking him to investigate the truth behind the case. The detective then began questioning the caregiver who had taken care of the wealthy man the longest. The caregiver had a fatal flaw: she would feel nauseous and vomit whenever she lied. Of course, the wealthy man had anticipated this, so he told the caregiver to only tell partial truths when answering questions, which wouldn't arouse suspicion. Sure enough, after the caregiver finished speaking, she showed no signs of nausea, so the detective had to let her go. Unexpectedly, that evening the detective asked the caregiver to serve as his assistant in the investigation. Although reluctant, the caregiver had no choice but to agree. While following the detective's investigation, she discovered that she had left evidence everywhere: surveillance footage, shoe prints in the muddy yard, and a wooden board she had broken by stepping on it. Fortunately, she managed to cover up all the evidence temporarily. Just when she thought she was safe, the next day during the reading of the will, the lawyer announced that the wealthy man had left his entire fortune to the caregiver. Everyone was stunned upon hearing this, and they became even more suspicious that the girl had used underhanded methods. The caregiver wanted to quickly escape this troublesome place, but her car broke down at the crucial moment. Fortunately, Jack appeared just in time, and the girl was able to get away. The two went to a restaurant where Jack got straight to the point, saying he believed his grandfather wouldn't commit suicide. He also mentioned that he knew the girl would vomit when lying. He placed an empty bowl in front of the girl, wanting to know the real truth. Under Jack's pressure, the girl told him everything. She was willing to take responsibility for using the wrong medication but didn't want to involve her mother. Jack believed his grandfather must have had his reasons for doing this, but he hoped the girl would give him half of the inheritance after she received it. The girl had no reason to refuse. When the girl returned home, she received an anonymous letter that read, "I know what you did." The paper was torn in half, and from its content, it appeared to be a lab report. The girl knew she couldn't escape anymore. Once the police conducted their tests, they would quickly discover the drug overdose in the wealthy man's body.